Alright, what is up guys? It's Mitchell or Deity, and today we are going to be doing a crafting guide slash, I don't know, I'm just going to do some crafts and tell you guys, like, basic crafting stuff. So if you are a newer player looking for, or even if you're a middle game player, maybe my way of crafting will put some insight into crafting, I guess. I don't know. But we'll see. This account is my global account, so I've saved up 13,000 Wyvern Claws. I have a decent amount of overall units between everything. I'm missing Landy and Fairy Tale Snowbreed. Those are only limiteds I'm missing on this account. Actually, I don't know if I have Elfelt. I'm pretty sure I do. But I can show all that later. But I just figured digging out my old global account could be nice to make some other content that isn't super in-game. This is like a pretty mid-game account, honestly. It's cleared most of story, not chapter 3 though. But either way, I'm just going to go and start crafting. We're going to do a little bit of everything. We have 13,620 Wyvern Claws. I'm going to just do, I'll do 10 times and I will talk about each one throughout and just give like insight as to what I would keep, what I wouldn't keep, why I keep X thing, why I wouldn't keep X thing, that sort of thing. So we're just going to start with swords. I'll do two swords, two 10 swords, or 2 10s of everything to start, and then we'll wrap up on something else. So we'll go ahead into this. The new crafting changes are amazing though. So overall, one thing that I do always do is roll speed. This account already has quite a bit of speed because I've been crafting this set way, but a lot of people don't roll certain pieces. So like this, it's a purple piece with 2 base speed. Typically, you would see people not roll this, but on a newer account, I would roll this all the time. And if it doesn't hit speed, you get rid of it. If it doesn't hit at least 3 speed, you throw it away. And then if it hits speed, then you go again. And if it hits speed again, you go again, up to +9. But overall, all of these pieces are pretty much mediocre. Most of what you're going to be looking for is speed set, obviously. This piece is close, so whenever you're doing this, for speed set, you're going to be looking, since this has health and effectors, you're going to want speed or flat health here. And that way you have no wasted stats. Your overall goal is to have no wasted stats on anything. And you got to learn the minimum and maximum roll for all things. You will learn that over time. Crit damage max roll is 7, effectiveness max roll is 8, crit chance max roll is 5, and then effect res max roll is 8, defense max roll is 8, HP max roll is 8. And then the only different thing between the rarity of pieces is obviously you start with extra stats. So if you have a red piece, you're starting with 4, whereas to purple, you're starting with 3, so if you have a red piece, you technically have 1 more roll overall. But with this, I am actually not going to roll these, but if you're a player who's below even 260 speed, roll every single piece that you have with even 2 speed at purple. That's the best advice I can give, because if you do this, you're going to cheat the system and get faster. But the thing with that is you will use way more gold. And in terms of upgrading gear, you want to use gear to upgrade gear. If you rely on only using charms, trying to be maximum efficient, you have a lot of gold overflow in this game. As you get further into it, gold does not become much of an issue. If you look at most like top players that aren't speed rollers, they have an overabundance of gold that they'll never use on anything except shop refreshing. But overall, getting into the speed game is very important, even if it's just 1 unit. So like I said, overall, all of this stuff, you usually ignore hit set unless it has really high rolls. Mostly with hit set, what I use it for is if it has speed, effectiveness, and health, and I'll put it on some sort of debuffing unit. But overall, effectiveness is one of the worst stats in the game. Most units you would build without any effectiveness. Some you build with, but whenever you build with effectiveness, you don't want to build anything with under like 150 effectiveness. It's just a waste. It's a wasted stat. If you build a DPS unit, you're like, I want to have some effectiveness for the blind. There's no reason whatsoever to try to get 40% effectiveness. That 40% effectiveness is useless because you're not trying to blind Ruel, and any unit you are trying to blind is going to be a DPS unit. Those DPS units typically have 0 effect res, meaning you need 0 effectiveness to hit. And even if they have a splash of 20 effect res because their gear didn't roll perfect, then you're still at an 80% chance to hit, roughly. There is also other mechanics that go into the game, but that'll be explained in a different video. But overall, like I said, none of this I will keep. In terms of extracting, I would only extract speed set, personally. You can extract the other things to try to trade them for charms, but for maximum efficiency, I only extract speed set for all different pieces. Now, if you're crafting something other than Wyvern, you can go for lifesteal, whichever you get. You get it for Maid Chloe. What, effect res? You can. So a lot of people don't even bother with effect res on Mid Chloe. Okay, but overall, I'm going to go ahead and sell all of these. Now, you can save these for leveling up other gear, but where I am right now, I'm just going to sell. We'll go and we'll do another 10 roll. I have a hit set piece on my Destine on my main account, but like I said, if it's a super good rolled piece. All right, so here we go. Now that we're into this, this has 3 base starting speed. I will roll this for speed. This is speed set, and it has attack, so overall, I am going to roll this as well. The flat HP is a wasted stat. If we hit that, this piece is immediately dead. Overall, like this piece right here, I would say this is a bad piece. There's nothing that you want this combination of stats on, typically. Really, I mean, if you do, you want speed on it. That's the problem with anything that you want high effectiveness, you want high speed on it as well. There's no other... Will this be on YouTube? Yeah, I'm just doing a little crafting guide. This piece right here has 2 stats, but attack percent, 4% of mineral, crit damage, 7% of max roll, plus has a dead stat. If you are very, very like low on gear, you could roll this, but the moment it rolls into flat health, it's pretty much dead because the last roll on it is going to be random. If this rolls effect res at the end, then you have a pretty dead sword. So a lot of times it's not even worth putting resource into this. This piece I will roll because that's 4 speed. So we'll go ahead and do a little bit of quick enhancement. So this one was 4 speed. What I do is I always feed gear into gear first. I save my charms for last because gold is a very annoying thing. So as you see, this piece, the only reason I'm rolling it is speed. It has effectiveness and it's hit set. Hit set's pretty overall because you want immunity on almost everything if you can get it. But if this rolls really fast, you can forego immunity if you're too fast, because what are you trying to protect yourself from? But if you can go immunity, it's overall always better. But whenever you have effectiveness and effect res, it's usually a dead piece. So never aim for trying to upgrade a piece like that. Okay, so going into this, now this to me is dead. If it would have went speed again, I would have kept it, but since it went effectiveness, there's no way I'm going to end up using this. If this was speed set, I might go again to try to get the 10 speed, but if it doesn't hit at least 10 speed on speed set, I don't see it ever being usable. If this was like a little bit faster, then I could do it. But thanks for follow, Helixer. Okay, so overall though, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this piece. Is, I would say, bad again. You don't need effectiveness with these kind of stats. Even if you're going for an HP bruiser character, you say like Alencia. Building effectiveness on Alencia is just wasted stat. Alencia wants the extra HP and survivability, speed, crit damage, crit chance, attacks better on Alencia, even though Alencia is an HP scaling unit. Having no effectiveness on Alencia is the overall goal, because you just don't need it. Not maybe if you're using Alencia as like a weird build, you can, but in my opinion, it's still overall pretty bad. So I'm going to go with this, and this piece is one that will upgrade as well. All right, that went into attack. This is going to be dead to me. I'm really only rolling it for speed. But if you're very new and don't have any Wyvern gear, you can keep going with this until it rolls flat health. Or if at plus 12 it rolls a bad stat, this is going to be a pretty dead piece. So go ahead and get rid of that. And then this piece was one that dropped from Wyvern. We'll go ahead and feed this into this. See where we go. All right, so one to attack, not bad. Since this has all non-wasted stats. That's a decently high HP roll. 8% max, so 14. There's 2 rolls in this technically, so it's 4% away from max. So what I'm going to do, I'll go a little bit more, but I'm going to feed gear into it, get the rest of the way. There was no other speed pieces I wanted besides this one that we'll check for speed. Okay, and then, don't want that. And then this will put us perfectly up, and we still have this one to roll. Oops, get that out of there. Okay, and then if this is bad, then it's overall, I'll lock this. It's not the best piece, but it has no wasted stats really anywhere. These are really low attack rolls. This is 3 into attack, so it's actually 9% off max. But this is an account that doesn't have a ton of gear, so I might be able to later find a slot where I could throw this in and finish it up. But never feel bad about locking a piece of gear and leaving it for later. So we're going to go ahead. Now that we're done with swords, though, I didn't really get anything out of it. That's normally how crafting goes. We'll go ahead into helmets, and we'll do just 2 tons of this. So with helmets, helmets are one of the hardest pieces, in my opinion, to get because it has a lot of potential everywhere. So this is 2 speed. With 2 speed on speed set, we roll that. This is 2 speed on speed set, we roll that. This is 2 speed on speed set with all really good stats. This is max, this is 1 off max, so this is actually a pretty good piece. This piece here, effect res, health, crit damage. I'm not going to bother rolling this. These are decently high rolls on all, but there's no time I'll ever use this. This is 3 speed. This is 4 speed. So we're going to roll almost everything out of this batch. This is 4 speed with crit damage. The effectiveness here kind of sucks unless this goes all speed. Then this could be used on any kind of turn 1 effectiveness dealer. Or if it goes all speed and then it gets crit chance down here, then it could be a DPS option because you are allowed to change 1 substat. So this one's a gamble, but it's pretty good. This one overall has a lot of potential as well. Has the effectiveness, which is pointless. So if we hit that, it's pretty much dead. But since it's a red piece, it has an extra roll starting plus 4 speed. So we'll go ahead and just start upgrading that. Yo, Mia, what's up? Look who finally joined the... I mean, I've been on the server for forever. So we're going to start on this piece first. This attack piece is pretty bad. And that has 2 speed. That has 3 speed. That has 2 speed. That has 2 speed. That has 2 speed. We're rolling almost everything. I'll go ahead and feed that. Okay, so if this hits speed, we'll keep it. Rolled crit damage, we'll go again. Honestly, these two are very offensive good stats, so there's no reason not to go because these are pretty high rolls as well. That was a minimum roll. A 4% crit damage roll is minimum. I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. I just hate gambling too much into it and using too many resources, having it go bad. But overall, I'll probably upgrade that later. Next, we're gonna go ahead and just do all these lower speed ones first. So all of these had speed except for this piece, so I'll throw this in, and then this, that gives us a +3. What do we get? Alright, that went straight to crit chance. That's 10 crit chance after reforge. Flat attack, that's okay. Overall, I'll go again, just for the sake of the video. It's a max roll, so this is already 16% crit chance after reforge. That's actually really good. If it goes crit chance again, 20% crit chance on speed set can round out a piece really well. So overall, this is good. Flat attack isn't the most like sought out or like looked for substat, but if you have it, it can't hurt, because the thing with this is it's all for an offensive character, and if the last roll goes HP, then it can be used on some kind of bruiser character. If it goes effect res, then you're just going to try to use a change stone on it, because the other 3 stats are at least usable and hold benefits toward building the character. So we'll go ahead and keep that. Next one, we're going to go for this. This one is a speed check. That is it. If it doesn't hit speed, it's dead. It didn't hit speed. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. There's nothing I want to use this on. Because like I said, anything that you build with effectiveness, you need a very good average overall speed on it, or else it is wasted. This piece has a lot of potential to go really well. So I'll feed that last piece into this. That's a decent roll. I'll go ahead and go to +6. The decent roll, this is like mid-roll on both. So I will go ahead and keep this, because the thing with this piece is, again, the last roll it goes into can always be changed. The bad thing about speed subset change stones is they are very rare. But the nice thing about this piece is, since it's crit chance, crit damage, speed, those are all beneficial stats. If it goes defense, can be used on multiple units. If it goes HP, can be used on multiple units. No matter what it finishes here, unless it's effect res or effectiveness, then you can just fully upgrade and not have to change anything. But if it goes effect res effectiveness, you would need a change stone to make it usable. Then going into this one is just a pure speed check again. That's all that matters on it. Then hit speed, I'm going to go ahead and scrap it. This one is actually, this is a good overall tank / healer piece. So I'll just go ahead and put it in. If it rolls high, we'll keep it. That's a decent roll. I think that was actually max roll. Or no, it started with 5. That was a 7 roll, almost max. This holds some potential for a lot of different units, so we'll go to +6. That was another 5 roll. So I'm going to go and hold on to this too, because I'm in a spot where I don't have a lot of gear on this account. This is a piece that can go on any kind of tank, any kind of healer, and probably make it work pretty decently. So the thing with helmets is almost every helmets are just super hard, in my opinion, compared to most other things. Right side gear is hard. There we go. So that's why with red gear, we always roll for speed, because even if the thing with red gear is it can start with either 2 speed, it cannot roll 1 speed. This is one thing a lot of people don't realize with red gear. It is minimum roll for speed is 2, maximum is 5. But the 5 rolls are pretty rare. So overall, you always want to roll red pieces, because the min you can get is 2. If you start with a 2 speed helmet that min rolls into speed all the way up, it's going to be 10 speed, reforge 14. It's going to be a terrible piece. But 14 speed on something as a newer player is usually always pretty good. So we're going to go into this again. Yo, HK, what's up? Alright, so when effect res, that's literally worst case scenario. But since it is red, it already has 8. This still has potential for 24 speed after reforge. And even with the effect res, you could change that to crit chance. The more you roll into a piece of gear, the less effective the change subset stones are. So that's, you do not want this to happen. But like I said, new account, gotta go for it. All right, now this piece is dead, sadly. So, I mean, I can technically keep this to try to put it on some sort of effect res unit. Because the thing with effect res units is typically you can bypass immunity. Because if this were to roll into effect res the next 2 times, it could be 36% effect res and then reforged to 42, which is crazy. That's a lot of effect res. So since it rolled pretty high on the effect res rolls, I'll keep it. It has 8 speed, and I could use a change set. Like, it is an unideal set, but that's the thing with a lot of gear is you can make it work. This is a very copium piece, though. Maybe you can make it work on some sort of effect res damage dealer, like someone in chat just said, ML Ken. You can try that, but I have a effect set. What is hit set? I have a hit set piece on my main account that has 18 speed and it's effect res. So I use that on my highest effect res unit because 18 speed on a piece. Can't really go wrong with that. And this piece still has 2 rolls. It could go 8 and 8 and still be 19 speed. So that's the issue with red gear, is it can always just turn out insane almost any way you roll it, as long as it has a couple stats with synergy. So I am going to lock that and keep it, but that is going to be... That was actually only the first round of helmets. This is why helmets are so hard. They could be used for everything. They have the ability to roll pretty much all or like they have the ability to roll all stats, right? The only thing they can't roll is flat health. Pretty sure flat health is the only thing helmets can't do. So it's pretty annoying. But like, so this piece right here, it's hit or crit damage, crit chance, defense, and flat attack. I would not roll this. I would say this is a bad piece of gear. It does have 2 things. You could use it for PvE maybe, but that's what it is. This piece right here, if you are newer and you need like gear for a Wyvern team or some of your PvE teams, you could keep this and roll it. It could end up being good overall, but for where I'm at, this isn't worth it because it's not super high quality. And as you can see, you can get 1 speed rolls on purple. This is not possible on red gear. Red gear cannot roll 1 speed. So that's why red gear is so sought after. But this has 2 speed, this has 2 speed. We'll go ahead and roll these 2. But everything else is not worth keeping in my opinion. I don't roll 1 speed pieces unless it's speed set, and I wouldn't advise doing that, but some of my fastest gear on my main account has come from pieces like this. The biggest thing with going for speed is if you don't try for speed on every piece, you're never going to get speed. So if you want to, you can, but I personally wouldn't unless it was speed set. But a lot of people just, once they see 1 speed, they think it's dead, but that's the thing. If you max roll, so like this piece right here, you go 4 speed, 4 speeds, 4 speed, it's 13 speed. You go 4 speed again, it's a 21 speed piece. And you just sold it and never had the chance to even see. Going +3 on a piece of gear does not cost anything. It's so minuscule in the amount of resources. It's always worth it, in my opinion, to try to push for that. I'll catch up on chat, everyone, after. So there we go. That was a 3 speed roll. We'll go ahead and go further. I believe I just actually sold. Okay, no, we're good. I'm about to say, I think we just sold one of the pieces I wanted to try. Okay, so this piece, in my opinion, is now dead. The maximum speed this can go is 9, 13, 16. It still has some potential. But overall, like I said, this account is to a spot where it's already got 290 speed characters. Just because I chase speed. It's not a far along account. I'm not even in gold. I've never made it past gold 3 on this account. I have a 290 Cerise. So if you chase speed, it's very attainable. And this is held true to every Epic 7 account I played. And I've played a lot of Epic 7 accounts. I just have 2 main ones that I still interact with. So going into this one now, I'm going to go ahead and feed this piece. Where is it? This one? Gonna go ahead and feed this piece in. Just hope it goes speed. It went crit damage, so this is double mineral crit damage. In my opinion, once you get double mineral, it's kind of dead if you, unless you, like I said, unless you have no gear. It's double mineral on any sort of stat whenever everything else is low. This is low, this is not the best. I won't go ahead and continue with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just extract this. The thing, you can use that to feed into something else, but I need some extraction stones overall, and then this I'm just going to go ahead and sell it. If you sell red gear, it's the most efficient thing you can do versus feeding it, but I do feed red gear a lot. We are done with helmets though. So chest pieces, in my opinion, are the easiest to do. Chest pieces, there's nothing challenging about them. Good tip is even if it's a bad piece, check if you have something better. Oh yeah, that's the thing with gear is even if you, so if you have, the thing with Epic 7 is most of you that play Epic 7 are probably going to be casual players. So one of the things before we get into the chest is you're going to be summoning with all your Skystones. And that's one thing that I don't really agree on doing if you want to get further into the game. I feel like Skystones are mostly for saving to summon characters that are important versus also refreshing for stamina. I usually refresh most of my Skystones for stamina on every account I've ever played, but the thing with this, if you're summoning on Covenants, that's just bad. I mean, you can get lucky, but overall, that's usually just throwing money down the drain, and even if it's just digital money that you didn't have to spend anything for. This is a count review? No, this is like a guide, kind of. I'm just going over gear. But you're going to end up, what I was saying with that, you're going to end up with a ton of characters, and none of them are going to be built. Like, look down here. Kisei, Cecilia, Dark Corvus, Spectre Tenebria. I have all these characters down here, and no gear for them. And there's also units like Singelica, Mursa's good, Togmaker Crows, that's great. There's going to be ML Leo, strongest character in the game. There's going to be a lot of characters. Doris is really good. That even if you have bad gear, having the character built just is going to make you so much stronger overall. I'm going to be making another video later about how I would go about picking your units and progressing through the game. Mr. Streamer's been a minute. Yo, Platypie, yeah, I've been streaming every day, but I just don't have a set stream time and it sucks. But if you refresh shop too much and burn your Skystones here, it can be bad, but if you save the resources to summon unlimited banners or good banners, it's good. So the shop refresh is actually a decent thing. But if you shop refresh too much, that's when you're going to feel like there's a gold issue in the game. When there's not a gold issue in the game, there's probably never been a gold issue in the game. But they've made it way easier. But most of the people that have issues with gold are people who shop refresh too much. So it just depends on how you spend your resources. But I guess that's why I have gold issues. You're not supposed, shop refreshing is like an extra thing to do with extra gold. After you've crafted everything, after you've done everything, then you go to shop refreshes and you refresh with the overflow gold that you have from trying to progress your account. That is what shop refresh is there for. But if you, like this, I have 35 million gold, but I have like 10k Wyvern Claws. Can I shop refresh 600 million gold? I talked about that earlier, about it's not really worth. In-game players are a good example of either they don't roll a lot of speed gear or it's just you have gold overflow. I burn it all on crafting. It's impossible to burn all your gear gold on crafting. With the new changes, you can't burn it all on crafting. It's literally impossible. It costs nothing to craft. Unless you're extracting every piece, then not selling. Like right here, this piece, I would say is pointless. This is not a good piece of gear. Effectiveness, defense, crit damage, these stats do not have synergy in almost any way. If this was HP %, you could like try to justify and say you could use a change stone on effectiveness to make this good. But overall, I would never upgrade this. This is a piece also. This piece has synergy. It's okay. You can roll this if you want, but I typically don't roll pieces like this. Health, defense, crit damage on non-speed set because you want immunity on almost any of your bruiser characters. So you can roll this, but I personally wouldn't. And then going into this, now we have the speed options. So health, effect res, if this would not be a piece I'd roll. Not good rolls overall. Min roll on health, min roll on crit chance. And the effect res, not good. This is a piece I wouldn't roll. But then over here, we're going into, this piece is fantastic. I would roll this all day for speed on purple. You always roll that no matter what set it is. Crit damage is almost max, health is pretty high. And then this piece has 3 speed with crit damage. We roll that. This piece has 4 speed. You always roll 4 speed on purple. Honestly, I'd always roll 3 speed on purple no matter what the set. But depends on the standards you want to set for yourself. So gonna go ahead and I sell anything that's not speed set. That's why I feel like there's no gold issue. Because I'm not gonna extract anything that's not gold. So then I'm gonna extract this, and then we're gonna upgrade the other 2 real quick. See how this goes. You're just too lazy? Yeah, a lot of people are. That's all good. So this has speed. We have a couple of pieces that drop during my wyvern farming, so we're gonna start with this. If this doesn't go speed, it's dead. It's already dead, so that's fine. And that's what I'm saying. It costs nothing to just check a piece. Just see if the piece is decent. All right, we're gonna go ahead and check this. 4 speed. That's a max health roll. and it has a max speed roll. The crit chance roll is minimum, three crit chances minimum. So I'm actually going to go further with this and just hope for another high roll. 6, it's okay. That's fine. And then one more, go big, go big. 9, okay, that's fine. So this is 11 speed, 19 health, 4 crit chance already. So this is a piece I can probably use on something almost guaranteed. Because the last roll, no matter what it goes to, even if it goes effect res, it's still good. If it goes defense, it's still good. Because I can change this crit chance to effect res, or just leave it, depending on what kind of character I'm building. But a piece like this has, if you have synergy with all 3 of your stats, it can go literally any way and still be good. You can end up, if this goes effect res, use it on a healer. And just change the crit chance to defense. If this goes defense, then use it on a bruiser character. If this goes effectiveness, then pray it rolls speed at the end. If it doesn't roll speed at the end, change the effectiveness to anything. And then just make sure it synergizes. But that's the biggest thing. If you can make sure that your 3 sets synergize before you roll, then you're golden. And that just comes with time of playing and learning what characters take what gear. So the best thing I can say with that is it all comes down to just learning, watching videos, watching streams. So this is pretty low rolled overall. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. This is 17 out of 24, but it's decently high rolled still, in my opinion. It's still a very usable piece, so I'm going to go and lock it, and I'll finish it once I determine a character it could be used on. But I am a speed chasing player, so this piece I'm going to look for speed. It goes crit damage. The decently high roll crit damage, but chests, and like I said, chests are the easiest pieces of gear to get. I'm usually extremely aggressive on chests. How do you get more charms? I don't use charms usually when upgrading gear. The thing with gear, typically when a piece rolls bad, I would take it and feed it in. I don't charms you just get from passively playing the game, but I would always upgrade gear with gear. So this piece is dead. But so like this is now a fodder piece for another piece of gear. This piece actually pretty high rolled. I'm gonna lock it because I might use it on something. But see, now this is a piece of fodder. This you feed in. You don't have to use charms for all of your crafting. Charms, I barely use charms on my main account. Very rarely. So this piece will roll. This piece 2 speed, we roll this, and it's actually very good synergy as well. Other than that, we'll roll this because it does have the 3 speed. And that's it for this batch. So go in, we're gonna go ahead and roll this. I'm going to take some questions toward the end, and this is a YouTube video. All right, so that's a very low rolled speed. That was a 2 speed roll. But the thing is that this can still go 9, 13, 17, 21. So whenever, even though you get a low roll in your first one, I wouldn't give up yet. Because the more speed rolls you get, the more it's going to get when you reforge it. You get 1 per roll past roll 1. But capping at 4. So if you have a red piece of gear and you penta roll speed, it's only getting +4 speed. So just keep that in mind. But overall, 1 low roll speed is not the end of the world. But now this is the end of the world. This piece is dead because it went effectiveness. That is high effectiveness, but in order to get this to work, if this was speed set, it would be worth trying again. But without it being speed set, they could go 9, 13, reforge to 17, 17 speed. Overall can be pretty decent, but with that not being speed set, in my opinion, it is a dud. So next we're going to go into this, slap that in, see where this rolls. All right, straight into flat HP, dead. This now we'll feed that into this. This piece was dead too. So if this goes any kind of decent roll. All right, so like I said, even though it low rolled the first time, doesn't mean it's dead. You go again because now it could max roll the rest of the time. It didn't. All right, that piece is kind of rough. It's a plus. This is a +3 piece at +3 piece at +6. So overall, I would say that isn't ideal. I'm not going to keep that one. I had better pieces. I'm going to go and extract these. I wouldn't personally extract once you've leveled up. You lose value, but I just have a lot of change stones, so I'm going to do that. Next, I'm going to sell the rest and then move on. We're going to go to necklaces. So this is where crafting gets incredibly annoying, and crafting right side gear sucks horrendously. So with that being said, I'm going to note this real quick. If you are using your boxes, these boxes, you want to always use these for right side gear, whether it be attack percent, rings, HP percent rings, HP percent necklaces, defense percent rings, defense percent necklaces, effectiveness rings, I've used a lot for that. Effect res rings, use that. Speed boots, important. Flat attack, wouldn't really go for that. Flat defense, flat HP, wouldn't really go for these unless you have a very specific character in mind, and that's very late game because a flat HP piece is more usable on very few units, whereas an HP percent piece you can use on a wide variety of characters in the game. But overall, all of these boxes, in my opinion, should be used on right side gear, because right side gear is a pain in the ass to get it to be good. Whether you're doing crit damage next, crit chance next, all of this has a lot of value. These boxes are very important. Make sure you can get all of them that you can. Make sure you're doing your world boss, doing everything in your ability. I'm going to go ahead and use this on an attack percent ring real quick, see what we get. This is decent for a bruiser. So overall, none of these stats are wasted on a character like Ravi, LQC, stuff like that. This is an overall pretty good ring, so we'll lock it. Rolls are not the highest, especially with it being T88. 9 is the max on defense health. Crit damage max is 8. And then the flat attack, maybe we could dodge the flat attack. And could turn out decent, but overall, not the best. For this, I'm going to go ahead and just grab a... I'm going to go for crit chance on this, because why not? Who cares? This overall, actually, this isn't terrible either. All the pieces have synergy as to what I'd be going for with a crit chance necklace. Crit damage, attack, health, and more attack. Not bad. I don't see myself ever doing revenge on this account unless they buff it. But that's just the thing I want to point out. These boxes are super important to mainly use on right side gear. Now, we're going to go ahead and craft. This is where it gets very annoying. Is extracting the left side a good idea? Yeah, I would only extract speed set, personally, unless you're farming Banshee, you can extract lifesteal. Always extract immunity. Always extract immunity. If you have immunity piece, no matter what it is, always extract it, because you don't want to have to sit and farm A13. Farming A13 sucks. So always extract immunity. Now, if you're hunting for a specific piece, then you can extract for that. So say you need, for some reason, you need an attack set boot with speed main substat. Then you can extract all your, just farm golem and extract attack set boots, going for a very specific thing. But I'll answer questions and stuff, show other things after I'm done with the video today. So all of you that are in chat, I'm trying to go pretty fast. But we'll get back into it. But otherwise, if you're not hunting a specific piece, you shouldn't extract hit set, unless you're going to be selling it. Okay, I would not extract crit set. You can extract crit set if you're going for like a crit chance, crit damage necklace. Say you're chasing speed. I chase speed a lot for necklaces, because this is the hardest spot to get speed. So one thing like this piece, I'm going to use an example. I personally roll 1 speed pieces. It's very stupid, but you never know. 1 speed piece on purple can go up to 5, up to 9, up to 13, up to 17. This can be a 21 speed piece. If you don't at least +3 it, you're never gonna know. But overall, as you see, almost all of this gear is not something I would keep. Actually, I don't think I'd keep any of it. All of it is overall pretty bad. There's no point for a flat with offensive substats. But I will definitely extract the speed set pieces for this, because like I said, right side gear is where you're going to be using most of your extraction boxes. Now, when you get the random extraction stones, you'll do a little bit different. But overall, the rest of this is pretty dead, but I'm going to go ahead and level this one piece, and hopefully it hits, just so I can use it for example's sake. But this 1 speed piece, when you first roll it, has the potential to go to 4, and it's speed set. Now it's dead, but what did you lose there? You lost 3 necklaces and 40k gold. That's nothing to at least try it. Why not just try it? It's not a big deal. But if it rolls another 1 speed, you get rid of it. If it rolls 2 speed, you get rid of it. Rolls 3 speed, you get rid of it. I extract it from here. But it's better to try and fail than to not try at all. And that's what a lot of slow players don't realize, is you gotta at least try it. At least give it a go. So this one, so that, and this one has speed. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna save this to roll with our next pieces. All right, going into this now. See, dude, this is so rough. All right, I'm going to roll this one. This doesn't have synergy in the stats, but anytime you get speed on crit damage, you're gonna roll it. Anytime you get speed on anything. This I'm actually gonna roll as well. I know it looks weird, but this piece, there are certain characters in the game, you'll learn this over time. This could be good on Soulbite or Araminta. Attack, main percent, you can actually use on Carrot, but Carrot is a little bit less, because you don't really want effectiveness on Carrot. It's kind of a wasted stat, first, in my opinion. But this right here, overall, can have potential too, because there are defense scaling units such as Lilibet, and there will be more coming out. So if you want to roll this, it's really offensive, and doesn't really have any other thing to it. I'm not going to roll it, but overall, this is a piece that maybe if it rolls high, if it goes all defense with crit damage, it ends up with speed at the end, you can change one of these attacks to health and have a decent bruisery piece of gear. But this I'll lock it. I might roll it later. But overall, most of that is just pointless. Hit set, I wouldn't roll hit set unless it had speed substat. Crit set, I wouldn't roll crit set unless it was literally perfect. And defense percent on this is not what you're looking for at all. But I'll go ahead and roll those two pieces. So I'm going to start with this red piece though. Red pieces I always take. See, the minimum roll you can get on red, like I said, is 2. You cannot get a red speed 1 piece. Or a red piece of gear with 1 speed. It's impossible. You cannot roll 1 speed either. So the minimum this can go is 2 from here. And overall, the substats aren't that good. So see, the minimum they can go is 2. That was a minimum roll for a red piece of gear. But that's not dead. That's not bad at all. Because say it max rolls from here, you have a very fast piece of gear. I mean, that's a 24 speed piece of gear. So then we go into this. Flat defense main set, doesn't matter. Bang, 7 speed. Now it's maximum 23. It can still be a 23 piece of gear. But the thing with it being defense percent, when you're chasing speed, it does not matter the set, typically. Like, defense percent main stat can be good on anything that's not a damage dealer. So ML Rin, Cerise can even use this. Because Cerise, if you're not using CDOM, there's no point to go crit chance. What else can use it? Fire Litica can use it. Any kind of turn 1 contester can use this kind of gear. So never think that just because it's flat defense main and like the stats don't really line up to be anything that you would think would be usable, then just chase speed on it. Speed's all that matters in a lot of these pieces. So we go again and see if we can. The thing is already got 2 speed rolls, so this is already 9 speed. So no matter what, we're going plus 13. There's no way around it. We're going plus 13. All right, so it went crit chance. That's unfortunate. But this piece right here, as you see, it went 10 speed and got health after. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. This still has potential for 17. But 17 speed flat attack, anything I use that on, 17 speed isn't terrible. You can go for it, but like I said, this account already is decently fast, so I'm going to go and feed that in. This piece, overall, is pretty balanced. I'll keep it. And then I'm going to go ahead. That's one I was going to roll. Not rolling this. Rolling that. This piece, not rolling it. So the thing with offensive damage dealers too, I mean, most of you guys in chat know this, but you do not want attack percent necklaces for almost anything because they have to roll pretty much perfect for you to use them. So with necklaces, you want either crit chance or crit damage for them on your damage dealers. All right, so this piece is dead now. This is a dead piece, sadly, but it had the potential, so you got to go for it. And then if say you're low on charms, then you feed this piece into another piece. Yes, it is not super efficient on gold, but this is why you don't always need charms. You can extract this, but if I extract it, I actually don't know how much it gives because it doesn't say. But Gunther and Senya, for this, Gunther and Senya, I can't even use this. Oh, but Gunther and Senya, you do attack percent. But there are very few attack percent necklace characters. LQC is one you can try. There's a few now that if you want, you can go Sigurd Scythe, or not Sigurd Scythe, you can go Hellcutter, and there's actually a lot of characters that probably have potential that we just haven't investigated yet, trying them on attack percent necklaces on Hellcutter. But nothing is going to get as much of a benefit as LQC. But then you have Senya, you have Carrot. Carrot's going to use an attack percent necklace or HP percent if you have attack percent ring. There's a lot of characters that attack percent can go on. But if you're trying to build a unit like Arby, you do not want to... Yeah, HU Fiend's one. Actually, HU Fiend I'd probably do crit chance or crit damage because getting a crit's way better. Unless you're trying to do some kind of Lilius mixture with HU Fiend. But yes, Silverblade Era. My Silverblade Era is on attack percent. But overall, you would not build an Arby on an attack percent neck unless your other gear around it rolled insane. So you just typically don't roll attack percent necklaces unless they are perfect for what you're going for. So whether it's going to be attack percent with bulk or attack percent with these kind of substats that this has. So if you have an attack percent piece that has, or attack percent piece that has flat attack, crit damage, crit chance, and speed, you can roll that and try to balance it out with your other pieces of gear. But because overall, the main stat doesn't really matter that much if your other gear can balance out all the other stats that you're missing. So even though this, even if say this was an attack percent, and then you needed a lot of crit chance, say this rolled high crit chance, and then you have another chest piece with 20 crit chance, you can balance it out, and then you need some crit damage splashed in there too. But it just, attack percent necklaces makes it very hard to achieve the right stats on damage dealers. And you need high rolls on everything and perfect synergy. So that's why attack necklaces are not typically the go-to roll. And the thing with a lot of people will see that and try to make an attack percent necklace for their damage dealers for Wyvern. That's bad because you're relying on crit damage on Wyvern. So whenever you do attack percent neck, you're literally limiting yourself to like 260 crit damage. That's 270 crit damage. And on Wyvern, you want to go up to like 300 if you can, because you're getting the multiplier on Daydream Joker. So overall, you want that. This has 4 speed, we'll roll that. Other than that, nothing else here has any value that I see. This is very poor overall. Right side gear is just a super huge pain. So we're going to extract the speed set, and then we're going to go ahead and roll that one piece of gear. That is all we did for that. Right side, I hate crafting right side gear because it feels like you're just throwing everything away that you do. And get rid of that. Okay, so it went speed. I'll go ahead and feed one of these. If it goes speed again, I'll feed the other necklace into it. Didn't go speed again, this piece is dead. So I'm going to use this piece as fodder to level something else up. But overall, that's it for necklaces. The rest of these right side gear hold like the same outlook, or I hold the same outlook on them as I do with necklaces. They're all annoyingly hard. Rings, I think, are actually a little bit harder than necklaces. So overall, whenever you're looking for Effector's main stat, you're going to be looking for defense, health, speed. Obviously, this doesn't hit that. This piece, health, attack. This just has 2 flat stats. The synergy is okay if you're going to use it on a unit like Champion Zerato, maybe. There's maybe there's a few units you can bypass immunity on. But overall, there's nothing that I want to use this on right now. This has speed, so we're going to roll this. Speed set speed, always roll. This is dead. This piece, very non-good. This piece, would all min rolls too. Not the best synergy, but it is speed set, so we're going to make sure to do the speed sets right. And all the rest of this is pretty poor overall. This is HP, but it's hit set. You just have to learn the synergy. And it's a lot more than I could explain in this video for it to really stick. I'd have to like do a quiz and quiz you guys after every single one. And I don't think that would make for a good video. Overall, this has been pretty long. I'm going to just do one more here. Crit chance, crit damage, higher stat efficiency than other stats. Crit chance has a high stat efficiency on a necklace than anything else. So if you do a crit chance necklace, you're actually giving yourself a benefit of 1 roll. But I don't want to go too much into that and confuse people. That's like super, super further min-maxing nonsense. This piece right here is almost kind of cool. The thing is, like, I would use a piece like this on, say, a Lifesteal Rylet. This is actually perfect for Lifesteal Rylet, but the problem with Lifesteal Rylet is it's a 4-piece set, and this is 4-piece. So if this was crit chance set, I would roll this and just pray I dodge effect res, because this is all max. Everything on this piece is max rolled. But the set is actually what makes it to where I don't see how this could have any viability ever on anything. I mean, maybe, but the counter set, you can't really mix that. So if this was on something else, this could have potential, but I'm not even going to mess with it. So we're going to go ahead and extract any of the pieces. This has 4 speed, reroll that. This has 3 speed and its effectiveness. This is actually an exciting piece. This has speed. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of these. So there's multiple pieces, so we'll roll out of this. Extract the speed set. Broken set, maybe? You can do broken set, but I don't have Rylet on this account, and I probably wouldn't try that anyway. But it is an option, yeah. Don't get me wrong. So looking at this, I actually have quite a few rings I plan on rolling, but effectiveness rings are super important. These used to be one of the things that you would go for the hardest. Like I said, with the the substones that you use, what is it called? Crap. With the substat change, not substat change stones, the other thing. Extraction pieces. When you use extraction pieces, I use a lot of extraction pieces on on rings to try to get speed effectiveness, because these are very, very important for opening speed units. This has mostly been like a speed thing, but I don't know. I guess maybe I should have explained bruiser characters more, but I didn't really get any bruiser gear besides the chest, which chests are always bruiser because they can't have attack, so they can fit on literally anything. But overall, this didn't hit speed, so I'm going to go ahead and extract it. It is dead, and then we're going to go ahead into this, and hopefully this is overall a pretty good piece. It can be used on a lot of stuff. It has very high bruiser potential. That was a 3 speed roll. We'll take that. But this could go roll into anything. I'd probably have it. That was a 4 speed roll. That's not bad. It's actually really good. All right, give me 13 speed here. This could be a nice round out piece. Or, I mean, anything from here. Crit damage, it's not the best. Roll, what was the starting on that? I think the starting was 7. Wasn't that a mineral? Either way, this is still a good piece. It's to be used on Ravi, LQC, any sort of bruiser character. Those are just the units that come to my head when I think bruiser. But this, overall, all the substats are good. The last roll you can always change, or if it just rolls right, then you can do whatever you want with it, and that's a good piece of gear. Not perfect, but usable. So then this, we're just rolling for speed, that's it. Double rolled crit chance. There's nothing I can use this on, right? Yo, Enid, what's up? We're almost done with the video. I'm just gonna do boots real quick and do a quick explanation there. But I just wanted to do like there we go, that's a 4 speed. We're gonna go again, try to get 4. Okay, that piece is, yeah, that piece is dead to me. There's nothing it can do. I'll use it as fodder. We'll just use that as fodder straight into this now. And this piece died as well. We'll use both these. Since we're going to +6 anyway because it's a red piece of gear. It rolled down into attack and effectiveness. There's no flat HP unit in the game currently that would benefit from this stat line at all. So I'm going to go ahead and get my stones from this. And then we can, that's not upgradable. That's not upgradable. I have a lot of old rings that I can mess with. I'll just go ahead and make sure I didn't screw this up. Yes, that was the right one. That has 4 speed. That's good. Okay. Well, let's roll this. Try to get 4 speed. Went defense, and it was a mineral. There's nothing that's going to be used on. But this was mainly a speed rolling guide, I guess. But I tried to talk about other things within it as well. As to what stats were good and bad. So that one's dead as well. Go ahead and refresh that. Or extract that. Okay, and then lastly, we're just going to do boots real quick, because I don't want this video to be too incredibly long. When is it worth upgrading blue gear? So if you're a brand new player that wants to get into the speed game, blue boots with speed substat. Blue boots are, it sucks to do it, but it is good. So blue boots are good. And then blue pieces that start with 4 speed, you roll it for 4 speed. If it doesn't roll 4 speed, you get rid of it. And only roll speed set blue. I'll go try to craft some swords. So overall, this right here, effectiveness set, has effectiveness and attack. There are actually a few units that can use this. It's not ideal. You'd want speed set main stat. But overall, almost all of your boots that you use in this game, speed set blue boots, yeah, speed set blue boots are good. But you can use other gear too, because that's the thing. Blue gear can still go 19 speed, right? It can go 4, 8, 12, 4, 8, wait, blue piece. It can go from 4 at starting, 8, 12, and then you roll new substat, 5th roll can go speed again. So technically a blue piece of gear can be 19 speed. So you don't really want to go past that. I personally, whenever I tried to climb arena originally, I would roll blue pieces of gear and I would stop at +6. And I never went above +6. But I do have a couple pair of blue boots I still use on my main account. So blue boots are usually the safer one, but if you're going to try to push into the speed game early, then I would personally, I'm not going to lock that actually. All of this is actually trash. The thing with boots is typically almost everything you are going to use is going to be speed set. There are a few offsets. It would be hard for me to show them. It's going to be like, maybe for Fighter Maya or D Lilibet, you can maybe use defense %. But boots used to be the most annoying part of Epic 7 and trying to get a good balance. I'm going to go ahead and extract all the speed set from this one because I forgot to do it on the last one. All of these are overall bad. Flat defense boots I don't think are usable on anything. Those are just instantly dead. HP % boots are very iffy. Usually they always have to be on speed set because they're going to be going on some sort of Soul Weaver character typically. It's not always true, but they're going to be going on some sort of very bulky unit that you're going to want immunity on. And then defense % you can use on like a slow Fighter Maya or slow Dilibet. Maybe you can get speed set to offset the slow speed on the Dilibet. But overall, there's not a lot of units that use defense % boots. Mostly it's going to be, you can get decent attack % boots and round it out with high rolled speed set speed gear. And balance it, but overall even attack % on boots is not that great, but it at least holds potential that could be worth rolling. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell all of this, and then we'll try, I just want to try to get like a non-speed set boot that would be worth looking into. So here's an attack % one, but see, if this was attack %, say it had speed and crit chance, then this would be worth rolling. It'd be pretty good. But overall, most of the time, any like this right here, it's trying, kind of. These are all minerals. Maybe with this stat line, you'd want speed in here in some capacity. Maybe for like a Rowana or a very slow unit, if you're gonna build them slow, then you can do HP % with super bulk defense, maybe a lot of flat HP effect res, and if it doesn't have speed, then another flat stat. But overall, boots are mainly just get speed and get out. Now for like some counter units, maybe you can go other things, but typically you're just hunting speed. That's all I can really say. Even on other sets, immunity set speed is super important. Did I sell something I was supposed to level? I don't think so. All right, we'll do like one more boot craft real quick, and then I'll answer questions. That'll be the end of the video. So this piece right here, this piece has potential. I actually really like this piece because it has defense, health, and crit damage. It falls into a Fighter Maya guideline. Actually could be used on Champion Zerato. It could be used on Designer Lilibet. It can be used on, there's multiple characters this could be used on, so it is worth locking. I actually don't have any of those characters on this account, but I'll go ahead and lock it. Other than that, these speed pieces, this piece pretty pointless. It's just, I hate having to explain it like that the only thing worth trying is speed set main stat, because it's true, is it not? Do you guys agree in chat? Am I dumb on that? I feel like that's the only time it's really the only thing you look for with boots. Maybe on very specific characters there's other things, but it has to be like very, very perfect rolled. All right, we'll go ahead and sell this, and we'll do one more thing here, and then I might try to get a blue piece example real quick because someone asked about this piece right here. You could upgrade this piece if you want. You could upgrade this piece, try to get either really high crit damage or speed. Attack percent boots are really good for PvE, I guess. So attack percent boots for PvE could be something to watch out for. That's a good use case for them. But overall, blue boots, I would never upgrade a blue boot unless it was speed main stat. And early game, those could be very good because blue gear actually costs less resources to upgrade. So with costing less resources to upgrade, getting blue boots to plus 15, it's not a huge difference, but red gear is a lot harder to upgrade. It costs a lot more, whereas blue gear, it's a couple 100,000 less to get a piece blue boot up to max. And if it's a unit that the stats aren't that important on, mainly what it's doing is trying to disrupt turn 1, then that's fine. But you don't need a ton of blue. You only need like 1 or 2. Like maybe cap yourself out at 2 speed set speed boots just so you have some options. And you can always feed that gear later, but reforging a pair of blue boots always feels bad. I will not lie to you. But all right, so looking at this, we'll go ahead and extract this, and that will be the wrap up for the speed portion. Like I said, I'll save those attack percent boots and just sell these. And then I'm going to go ahead and just craft one more batch of swords just to see if I get a blue piece of gear and I can explain on. Blue piece of gear speed set. So right here, this is like a piece of gear that you wouldn't try, but you if it was 4 speed, you would. So if you were very early in the game and trying to break past, say, 240 speed. 240 speed is like, honestly, you can break past 240 speed in a week, just from simple farming. What is this? Okay, the song is glitching. Okay, if you the thing is, you can get past 240 speed in a week easily, and utilizing blue gear. If this was 4 speed, you'd upgrade it +3. If it rolled speed and got 7 or 8, then you'd upgrade it again. And that holds true if you don't have any regular pieces that are fast. So say maybe your free gear, your attack percent gear, or your attack set gear that you got for free, maybe one of those pieces rolled 19 speed. If you have all blue pieces that are, say they average 10 speed throughout your 4 pieces, then you throw the 19 speed or whatever free piece of gear that's on an offset, and then you put whatever speed set boots are on there, then you have the finished speed set, and you have just ridiculous overall speed. You're gonna have 40 speed plus the speed set 25% bonus plus the 45 from speed boots. You're already gonna be 260 speed just from blue gear. So 260, like, it's very attainable, and I think a lot of people just downplay it a little bit too much. But overall, all this gear is pretty crappy. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. It's all pretty bad gear. Okay, but overall, that was just a kind of, it wasn't really quick, but I just wanted to explain gear this morning, make a little video out of this. What purple gears are worth rolling? Gear that has higher rolls are synergy and subsets. I talked about it a little bit earlier for Parallel 5th Police. Like pieces that have synergy. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up the video. So like this piece, all of this is synergy. Defense, crit damage, crit chance. It can be used on a bruiser character. So a purple piece of gear that has 3 pieces of synergy is good. But then also you have some weird scenarios where, say, I don't know if I have an example, but if you have speed on a piece of gear, even if you have speed and two others, if it's a decently high speed roll on, like, even say hit set, you roll that. So you would roll anything that has at least 3 speed personally, in my opinion. For speed set, I would roll anything that has at least 2 speed. And then you at least roll +3. And then if the subsets do not synergize and you low roll, you get rid of it. Otherwise, you keep it. And try again. You go to +6. And then you pretty much gear rolling is just a +3 check, a +6 check, and then a +9 check. And usually once you go to +9 check, then you're either definitely quitting it or you're going all the way. +9 on purple gear is usually you're just going all the way. So that's what I would say. The song name is Sen no Tsubasa. Sen no Tsubasa. But yeah, so that is the gear video. If you have any questions in chat, ask them now. I'll try to explain real quick. If you have any questions on YouTube, though, if you're watching this on YouTube, comment them down below and I'll answer whatever. Or if you're watching and already know a bit about gear, you can answer the questions in the comment section as well. But I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. The thing with gear rolling in Epic 7, it's a lot to learn. Overall, the best advice I can have is watch content creators. I know some of you don't have time to watch a lot, so YouTube videos are probably your go-to. The thing with Twitch is if you ever go on Twitch, the majority of Twitch all know what they're doing very well. Especially all the streamers. All the streamers will give you basically the same answers on any questions you would ask. But the problem with Twitch is there are a lot of elitists on Twitch, and there's a lot of people with a lot of egos here. So, and in terms of the player base, even some of the streamers, including me, some people, Twitch isn't the most inviting place for for you guys. I know YouTube is a lot more laid back. So, but just know Twitch is an option. You don't have to talk in chat, but just by hanging out in somebody's stream, you can learn a lot just sitting there. Especially if you go and look for someone doing account reviews, those are going to be the best advice you can get, especially newer player account reviews. But other than that, just watching them upgrade gear. Everyone has a different way of upgrading gear. My way is going to differ from everybody else's. There's some people that save everything, and I hate that. There's some people like, oh, it's hit set, but it has all max rolls. Maybe I could use this for something later. And those are the people that have 500 inventory slot and never have anything. Like, they have a ton of gear in their inventory that they'll never use. Guys, there are not even that many heroes in the game. If you take all that 500, if you're at 500 and you max all of that gear and go put on your heroes, you won't even, there's not enough heroes in the game to build with that gear. And there never will be, because you'll continue to get new gear. So if there's pieces of gear that are bad, get rid of them. If you can't find an immediate use for it and don't think there will be another use later, just get rid of it. You'll get a replacement piece of gear. Like, there's no reason to have 500 inventory slots in this game, in my opinion. But that's a hot take that a lot of people will disagree with, because they save everything. Like, what if there's one unit comes out a month, guys? How long are you gonna hold on to that hit set piece of gear that you're never gonna use? You're gonna hold on to it forever. Units don't come out fast enough for you to use it, and that's just the cold hard truth. But that's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, hopefully this helped. And if you're new to the channel, if you subscribe, most of you probably didn't watch this far, so it's whatever. But yeah, I appreciate it. Have a good day.